called.
That's right.
They are the Matadors.
What college?
What college? I think this is University of California, Northridge, out of Northridge, California.
You were just so close. Oh. Because it was Cal State Northridge.
It was Cal State Northridge. Ah! Nah, come on, bro. I got that.
You are now watching the Ball and Beats podcast.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Ball and Beats podcast, episode 129. I am joined here by Asa and Logan. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
We're doing just fine, man. It's coming up on March, and you know what that means. So looking forward to a beautiful month.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been a great week, honestly. You know, 2025, it's been a hat forwards kind of year for me, but today I felt like I had to go backwards just for the one time again, you know. But it's been a good week, and yes, we're coming up on March. We're coming up on maybe the best tournament style there is out there.
Don't expand it. Leave it as it is.
I agree.
It's got to stay. It's got to stay.
68 is plenty. Don't be moving it to, what, 76? They said they were going to
72, 76, something like that, yeah.
No, it's ridiculous.
No reason.
No need.
You don't need to expand every single playoff.
Just get the teams right.
They did it in the NBA. They did it in MLB, and, just stop. But we have some fun segments for you all today, and we are going to start out with, obviously, us talking about March. March Madness is coming up. Conference tournaments start in just 2 weeks, I believe. And we got a fun little game. So we got School Showdown. What this is, I will show you both 20 different Division I school men's basketball logos.
Here we go.
You have to name me the school, the mascot or the nickname, and the location of the school. Now, for location, some of these are out of pocket, and I would be surprised if you get the city. If you do get the city correct, it's an extra point. So you can get up to 4 points in each segment.
Okay.
So that's 80. Thanks, Asa, for the math earlier.
So
you can get a max 80. I expect 80 from both of you.
Wow. Okay.
All I'm saying is I can't wait to see the UC San Diego Tritons in this folder. I'm just kidding.
Well, we're going to find out. And like I said, all of these teams, I don't know if I said, all these teams are in top 4 in their conferences, so I'm not going to throw you Chicago State or West Georgia teams that are gutter trash. These are all teams that have a shot to win their tournament and teams that we could see in the NCAA tournament coming up in a few weeks. So, might as well get started, gentlemen.
Oh, boy. Okay.
We got to start out fast.
I'm
so,
excited.
Let me adjust my laptop here real quick.
Yeah, no cheating.
Yeah, no cheating over
No
here.
cheating over there.
Show that up.
So,
by the way, as well, go follow on every other platform you can get us on, as well as here as YouTube.
So, with the first school in the School Showdown.
Okay, I'm excited.
This team is currently 4th in their conference, and they're a fun team to watch, and they have a fun logo. Who is this? I'll show it to you. Just give me the name, the mascot or nickname, and where they are from. And if you give me the city correctly, you get an extra point. Who is JU? Fun logo, fun school, and they are currently 4th in their conference.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
All right. We'll do like a few more seconds.
You know what?
We'll give like a 20,
When we're done,
30 second.
When we're done,
yeah,
pencils down.
that's fair. You
Okay.
know what? I had to. Is it okay if we can make a change in our process? Like we thought it was something, but we had to change it last second.
As long as by the time you get 30, I'm going to do a timer of 30 seconds
Okay.
for the next 19.
Well,
so are you
all right.
done?
I'm
you
done.
good?
I'm done.
Okay. So, let me bring out I can just tell you who it is. Okay.
Do you want to ask us who it is? Who we thought it was first?
I'll go with you
Okay.
first. Sure.
I think that's Jacksonville University. Nickname, no idea, so I'm just going to I just thought of something. I said the Gales, and I believe that could be in Jacksonville, Florida.
Asa, you just got yourself 3 points. Logan?
So I have Jacksonville University. I do have the nickname. I originally said Sharks, but I know what the answer is. It's the Dolphins in Jacksonville, Florida.
Logan got 4. That is correct. That is Jacksonville
Dolphins.
University,
Wow.
the Dolphins from Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Fun name.
Okay.
And they got a really good baseball team if anybody's into college baseball.
The Dolphins. That's a good nickname for Jacksonville. Okay.
You would think.
Jacksonville University. Okay. I see. This is how it's
You
going to
see
play.
this? Absolutely.
That's how it's gonna play. We're gonna
Jacksonville.
get it.
Shout out Jacksonville. Duval.
So,
We just did the nicknames for all Division I basketball programs, and you were just spouting them out like it was insane. So this is going to be the nicknames is where you're going to get me.
all right. We have the next one. Who is this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think I know that one.
I think I know that one
I'm going to
too.
get a timer on my laptop. No internet. Well, that doesn't help. This team's currently second place in their conference right now.
The location. I have no idea. I have no idea where the location is, and that's also going to be a problem for me. I think it's going to be the nicknames or the location, but I have no idea. We'll see how this goes for me.
Pencils down. Or
Okay.
pens down.
All right.
Asa, what's your guess?
Okay, I believe that is Mercer. Nickname, I'm gonna go Golden Bears. That must not be Mercer if Logan's laughing. And location, I have no idea. I'm just gonna say New Jersey.
There's going to be a 0 on the
Oh,
board
okay.
for
I
Asa.
thought that was
Logan,
Mercer.
who do you think it is?
Well, I think that school, I believe, is Northern Colorado. I did put Golden Bears for the nickname, although it might just be Bears. And location, I didn't get a city because I was trying to think of some random off-put city in Northern Colorado. So I went with just Colorado.
Logan, you got yourself 2 points. You are correct. That is the Northern Colorado University Bears. They're just the Bears, not the Golden Bears. And they are from...
Are they in the Big Sky?
Yes.
Okay.
And they are from Greeley, Colorado.
Okay, this is not panning out so far. Number 2 was not.
next
Why did I think that was Mercer?
Similar logo,
Really?
wrong colors.
Okay.
This next
I
one...
was really feeling Mercer
This
too.
next one might be a little easier. I have to give you guys some.
I got to get some points back here.
Who is
Oh
this?
my gosh, it's easy. Okay.
They currently reside at first place in their conference, if I believe.
Dude, you said this was easy. This is. Oh man.
I think I'm wrong on a couple things, but I
They
at least
are
know.
in first place.
I at least know some parts. I'm gonna be so upset because I know I got like a few things wrong.
I'm
here.
trying to think of conferences. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying
Right.
to think conferences.
Pencils down. Or
Oh
pens
wait,
down.
hold
I
on,
keep
hold
saying
on,
pens
one
down.
second. One second.
All right, all right.
All right, I'm wrong, but there we go again.
Okay.
Let's start with Logan, just because I'm gonna fail.
Okay. Do you want me to just say it and you guys
No.
can...
No,
no,
Okay.
I like it.
All right,
So-
all right. Logan?
I know that's High Point University. 100% correct on that. Nickname, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know, so I went out on a limb. Said the Lancers, and I believe they are at least in this general area. Don't really know, but I went with New York City, New York.
Okay,
So?
I said that's High Point University, and I know this is Grand Canyons, but it's purple, so I said the Antelopes.
That's a fun name.
And I just said New Jersey again because I don't know. I'm feeling East Coast for some reason.
So, you both are correct. It is High Point University.
Okay.
They are currently first in the Big South, 26-5 overall. A good season so far for the Panthers.
Okay.
So they are the
Oh,
High Point
man.
Panthers, and they're from High Point, North Carolina.
High Point. Oh, I should.
Okay.
So
Okay, in the
Logan got
South,
one,
okay.
and so did Asa.
That one I should have known.
So
I forgot about High Point. North
Hey, I
Carolina.
got the school
Shout
name.
out
I'll
High
take that. I
Point,
got the
North
school name.
Carolina. Shout out the Triangle area as well. There's a lot of schools out in the Triangle area.
There are.
all right.
The Carolinas are
I love the Carolinas.
jam-packed with good
It's almost like a
basketball.
second home. You know what I mean?
This next one is one of my favorite logos in all of college basketball.
Okay.
I think it's just badass.
Okay. Okay.
Who is this? Team is currently 24-4. They're having a good year as well.
Let's start with Logan again, because
Logan may have said it like 10 minutes ago.
So this, my friends, is the UC.
Hold on. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. All right.
UC
Logan?
San Diego Tritons out of San Diego, California. A school that wasn't even D1 like 2 or 3 years ago, and they're absolutely balling out west.
Can you name
right
their
now.
conference? I should add that.
You should have added the conference. I know they're in the one with UC Davis, UC Santa Barbara, all those other fun schools, whichever that one is. The Big West? Not the Big West.
They are in the Big West.
Oh,
with
yeah, it is Big
UC
West.
Irvine and UC Riverside, UCSB, UC Davis, all that. Asa?
I had University of California, San Diego. They are the Tritons, and they reside in San Diego, California.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
You didn't say the
4-4.
nickname, though.
Yeah, I
He
did.
said Tritons.
Oh, you said okay.
Yeah, he said Tritons.
That was good. Hey,
That
hey.
was good. Good job, gentlemen.
Good one.
Good job.
Can we get a quick score update real quick?
So Asa is at 8 and Logan is at 11.
Okay.
So it's a
Okay.
3-point
A fifth
game.
of the way-
Anybody's game.
A
It's
fifth of the way
very
through,
early.
you
We
know.
are not even a quarter of the way through.
Gotta
I'm
take
feeling
a,
hot. Got to take a sip of my B&B
Absolutely, and I'm
sweet
getting a
tea.
quick little B&B water sip in, you know. You know, you can actually get B&B water and sweet tea, you know, at your nearest tap, or you can get it at your nearest vending machine.
at ballandbeats.shop.
.com, .net,
All right.
.org.
.org.
Okay. Number 5.
.gov.
Definitely .gov.
.edu. Who is this?
Let's see. Oh boy.
This team is 14-2 in their conference, and they are 19-10 overall.
I hate seeing Logan writing away.
Out of conference, they're not great. In conference, they've had a fantastic year.
Logan's got me here.
Nice little zoom there by our cameraman. That was a little fun watch.
I know I'm so wrong. All right, I'm so wrong. I'll just start us off.
Okay.
Okay. This is wrong, everybody. I know it's wrong. Okay. I put Lipscomb. That is not Lipscomb. But the mascot, hopefully, hope to God that is a tiger. And I know Lipscomb's in Nashville, so. That's
They
not
are
right.
also the Bison.
Yep, there you go.
To me, based
But
off
you got
what-
one right.
Okay.
You
I took
got
a
Tigers,
tiger.
right?
Okay.
Based off of this, it just makes too much sense. It's got to be the Towson Tigers out of Towson, Maryland.
Unreal.
Logan's on a heater, ladies and gentlemen.
Unreal.
He is correct. That
That's
is
just
Towson
crazy.
University. They are in the same conference
just
with the
crazy.
Seahawks from UCNW, Charleston, William and Mary,
I
the
knew-
Campbell Fighting Camels.
I knew this dude was just going to run away with this. That's
We
that's
have
impressive.
15 more to go,
That's
buddy.
impressive.
ball game.
That is impressive.
want to hear that.
We have
That's impressive.
we have
man.
15 more to go.
Towson, bro.
We
Where is
are
it
a
at?
fourth of
Maryland?
the way through. Towson, Maryland, Baltimore suburb.
That's insane, man. That's insane.
These next two are very easy.
'Kay.
Very easy.
Okay. You said easy for High Point, so.
That is facts.
Who's that? Who is this? This team's currently 19-9, 11-4 in conference, and the Liberty Flames are right behind them. They have a fantastic nickname. Fantastic.
Okay.
Asa.
That is Jackson State University, the Gamecocks in Jackson, Alabama. Jacksonville State? I don't know.
The answer is the Jacksonville State Gamecocks out of Jacksonville,
Oh,
Alabama.
I just put Jackson.
That is 2 for Asa, and that
sucks.
is another 4 for Logan.
That sucks. Jacksonville State.
There is
Gosh,
Jackson
there's
State.
Jackson
The
State.
Jackson State
State
Tigers
Tigers.
out of Jackson, Mississippi.
I should have known
Shout out
Jacksonville.
Coach
Dude,
Prime.
look.
Shout out Prime.
Look. I had Jacksonville written down, and look what I did. I crossed out the Ville. I knew in my gut.
It's all right, man.
All right, the next one. Like I said, I have to throw a few easy ones in here. I didn't want it to be completely out of pocket.
Yeah.
Who is this?
Okay.
This team is currently 11-0 in their conference. They're 18-6.
Now, where is this school? I got to remember.
And they're undefeated at home. They make the NCAA tournament a lot because the conference,
And upset.
their conference they're in, doesn't have a whole lot of athletes.
A lot of brains.
Your start.
A lot of brains, not a lot of pure athletes.
We both
Except
done?
in like the 1780s.
Asa, who is that?
That is the Yale Bulldogs in New Jersey, I hope.
You are correct. It is the Yale Bulldogs. City-wise, I don't really know, but I
don't know the city.
believe
I know this. Is it?
I believe it's in Connecticut.
It's in Connecticut. Okay.
Logan, you are correct. It is in New Haven,
It
Connecticut.
is New Haven, Connecticut. Okay.
You know, it's
I had Hartford
when it gets
down.
tight in those, that East Coast, it gets a little scary.
Too many Ivy League schools. They're all in the same area. They're
That
never
cluster,
away.
man.
They're all in the north, northeast,
New Haven,
Apparently,
Connecticut,
they're
okay.
saying that's the only place where smart people are. That's a lie.
Number 8. Who is this?
Oh my gosh, what is that, bro? What is that?
Logan might be a fellow ball knower in terms of out of pocket college basketball
What is,
teams.
bro? What is that, dude? I'm just gonna put some random.
Nickname? I think I know. School? I definitely know. Location? I believe I got the state.
We're just throwing
It's
a Hail Mary.
It's a fun one.
We're throwing up a Hail Mary.
This team is 20-5,
They are hooping.
and they are 13-3 in their conference.
Yes, they are.
They're balling out.
They're balling.
Okay.
They
Hold
are
on.
a normal. Every once in a while, this team will make an appearance.
It's like a once every 6 year kind of thing where they're like the 16 seed and they lose by like 42. They're not the ones that end up actually putting in a tough game, but they make it, and congratulations on your participation trophy.
Fun fact: a team from this conference a few years ago made the Elite Eight.
Yes, they did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Logan, you start, buddy.
This is Marist. Nickname, it could be shorter and it could be something completely different, but I said the Red Wolves, and I believe it is in Marist, New York.
Asa,
I have no idea. I thought that looks like a fox to me, so I just put down the foxes.
That's a good one. That's what I thought too.
But I have no idea. I said that they are out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, so they are the CGMU. I have no idea.
that's a fire name. All right, so it is Marist University.
Okay. Yep.
They are the Red Foxes.
Red Foxes.
Do I
Okay.
get a point for foxes? Because I
No, you have to say Red Fox.
I didn't get a point
0.5.
for
I
red.
said fox.
He didn't get a point because he said not Red Foxes, and they're from
Terrible.
Poughkeepsie, New York.
Poughkeepsie, bro. They're in
Poughkeepsie.
Poughkeepsie. Okay.
Poughkeepsie.
That's great. I never. Hey,
Shout out to all the people in Poughkeepsie, New York.
never.
We love you here at the Ball and Leads
Never in a
Podcast.
million years would I have ever guessed that exists. So, the more you know.
I knew New York. I just thought Marist might have been the town.
I was really feeling Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Sometimes Cape Girardeau, Missouri just calls you, you know?
Yeah.
Number 9, gentlemen. We're almost halfway through.
We're getting there.
Who is that?
Oh, I think I might know.
This team is also 13-3 in their conference, but are 17-10 overall. So not a great out of conference
Really
schedule.
hoping. I'm really hoping this is right.
This definitely feels like something you would have.
I
like
feel
a
like
high school. This definitely looks like
I
a
think
high
I know.
I have a feeling of who this is.
I
but
know
Logan-
like the basis, but I don't know anything else.
Okay. I'm really hoping I get the school right, but I'm gonna have Logan start because
That's basically what I'm hoping not to. This is Quinnipiac, the Bobcats. Location, they could be anywhere. They could be in your head, you know.
Okay.
But I went with Virginia. I don't know if I'm right, but yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, I don't know the pronunciation. I thought it was Quinnipiac, Quinnipiac. I have no idea. The Bobcats, and I said New York.
So you both are correct. It is Quinnipiac. which
Okay,
is
I just
how
didn't know
you
how
say
to
it.
pronounce it. Quinnipiac.
Yep, it's the Bobcats.
Okay.
And they are from Hamden, Connecticut.
I knew it was in the East Coast, dude.
Okay.
I'm feeling okay.
All
I knew it
right.
was in the East Coast.
All right.
So you both got 2.
Okay. Ooh.
Dang.
Number 10 at the halfway marker right here.
Halfway mark.
Mm-mm.
This next one is a pretty fire logo too, but it's pretty simple.
Huh?
Who's
I
that?
can't see. Oh.
I think I've seen him on the football field in the past few years with
Yeah, you
Toledo.
have.
This team is 20-8, and they're 10-1 in their conference.
They make it every single year.
I feel like they do.
Yep, every year, and they get
Trampled.
annihilated by Duke or Auburn or Kentucky or any of the big guys.
But they always make
They
it.
always make it.
It's also, I think Michael Vick's now their head football coach, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asa, I'll let you go first.
I don't know. I think that's Norfolk State. The Spartans, and they're in Norfolk, Virginia.
This is the Norfolk State Spartans out of Norfolk, Virginia.
You both are correct.
Let's go. Okay.
Shout out Michael
Is that my
Vick.
first 4? Is that my first number 4?
Shout out. That's your second one.
Second one?
Shout out Michael Vick, and shout out all of you guys watching the Ball and Beats podcast. You guys should go subscribe to the YouTube channel because we bring you this elite content all the time, you know. And as we're now at the halfway point, I got to get me a little more of this
Do a little
B&B
halftime.
water to help fuel me.
I'm gonna.
Get a little tougher from here.
I'm gonna I
we get a
spaced mine
score
out
update?
incorrectly, so I'm just.
No, because I don't feel like doing the math.
You don't feel like
We're
doing
just
that?
gonna find out at the end. You're leading by a solid amount. I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay, all right.
I knew you would.
Yeah, we're not math majors here, so
no.
yeah.
We chose comm for a reason.
Alrighty. Let's try it out.
Yeah, Asa has not beaten you in a single category. You've tied a few times, but
Hey.
yeah, you're winning by a solid
Hey,
amount.
I'm here.
But
I'm learning as we
It's
go through.
comeback time.
It's comeback time.
Because this next one, I'm going to be very upset if you do not get this correct.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Who's this?
Oh, boy. Come on.
Okay. This team is arguably one of the best mid-major programs in the past recent years. They are 26-3. They are a sleeper for a 12, 11 seed. They're 16-3 in their conference, and they have owned this conference in the past recent years. Their head coach left last year with their best player, and they still have not skipped a beat.
Yeah,
West
shout out the
Virginia.
Utah State Aggies.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. It is the Drake Bulldogs out of the Missouri Valley Conference out of Des Moines, Iowa. And shout out Chico Johnson, who's now at SC Upstate, the Spartans.
Yeah.
Thought not having the
That
Bulldog
is
on there, I'll tell you that.
that is the Drake Bulldogs, Des Moines, Iowa. Shout out Grammy Pat. That's your neighborhood. So there
Drake
you
You
go.
both
Bulldog
are
fan.
correct. It's the Drake Bulldogs, and like we said, Tucker DeVries is gone. They haven't
He's at
skipped
West
a beat.
Virginia, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, he's West Virginia?
Mhm.
Who took the Utah State job?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. It was someone else from, like, Missouri Valley or something. I don't remember. I'd have to
know.
look it up.
Yeah.
But they're balling, too. Shout out
They
the Utah
always
State
do, dude.
Aggies out of Logan, Utah.
Gentlemen, who's this? They're 21-6 and 12-2 in their conference. Having a pretty good year for themselves. They had a team from they had a 16 seed in their conference, upset Purdue a few years ago.
Shout out Fairleigh Dickinson. I know, right?
Almost put them on here, but I feel like that'd be too easy.
I don't know. I have no idea. I got to put down. I got to.
They are normally a 15 seed if they ever make it, which they make it every once in a while.
It's all right, Asa. B2.
I may have met that we're also gonna have another one of these in a few weeks with me and Logan competing. That's gonna be some cinema.
That is gonna
Yeah.
be.
That is
cinema.
gonna be some cinema.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just gonna go because I'm assuming that's a Blue Devil, but I have no idea. I just threw up a Hail Mary and said it's not Western Texas, and they're not in El Paso. I have no idea what that is. No idea what
complete
school that
El
is.
Paso is the minors.
This is the complete opposite direction, boss.
Yeah.
City, I don't know, but I think I may have an inkling. This is the Central Connecticut State University Blue Devils out of, I think, maybe Hartford, Connecticut.
What in the world?
Logan,
what-
you got 3.
Okay.
What is
Yep.
what school is it?
Central Connecticut
Central
State
Connecticut State
University.
University.
Central Connecticut State University.
They're having a good year for
CCSU.
themselves. They're winning the Northeast Conference right now, and pretty handily too.
What's the city?
New Britain, Connecticut.
New Britain, Connecticut. Okay.
Never in a million.
That's the second
years
time I
would
did
my
write
mind have-
Hartford, Connecticut.
Dude,
for
I
a
knew
hint.
it wasn't in Texas. Knew it wasn't in Texas because people in Texas would never choose a devil to be their mascot. But
They choose some. They choose
I
a
just
lot of them.
when you don't know, you just say cardinal direction and you throw in a state. So
It's actually a pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Speaking of
It still
birds,
was Central Connecticut.
speaking of birds, gentlemen,
oh baby,
who's that? Now I threw this little piece of information on there because I thought it would maybe give it away, but still a little challenging. I thought with just that is a bird, might be a little too hard, but maybe not.
shout out Iowa State football, first game of the year in 2022.
They're 14-4 in their conference, and they are 19-10 overall. So another rough out of conference schedule, but they're handling business in their conference.
Now I just got to think where in the state it is. You know what? I'm going to go back to what I said previously.
You're not right.
Oh darn! All right, because that's what I said.
Yeah. All right. That is Southeast Missouri State University. Redbirds. And I put Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
So hold on. That's incorrect.
Is it just Southeast Missouri? Yeah, not state. Dang it.
Yeah,
I
so,
give it to you. You kind of need it.
Yeah.
well, the thing is,
Thank you.
it's
Appreciate it.
Southeast Missouri. I said, I don't know if it's right, but I don't know if they're the Thunderbirds. I know there's a school that's a Thunderbird, but I also said Cape Girardeau, Mississippi. I mean, Missouri,
Thunderbirds is
Missouri.
southern Utah.
That is right.
Asa, you got all 4 right.
Is it in Cape Girardeau?
It is.
And it's the
Red
Redbirds?
Hawks.
It
Red
is-
Hawks.
So
There you go.
Wow. He got me on that one. He got me.
Cool. Okay,
right,
that's my
so-
first one. I'll take it.
this one is given away. I couldn't find a logo without the name on it.
Okay.
So you each are getting 1 point for this. But I want you to tell me.
Imagine we get it wrong.
I'm mad. Yeah.
Just tell me where they're from and tell me what the mascot is.
Oh.
I don't know if that's American University.
I think it might be national, like the National League or something.
They're 18-12, but they're 12-5 in their conference. So this is a bona fide 16 seed.
Dude, if it's not in this city, I'm going to be so ticked.
They actually have a pretty. Their league is really good. They got some solid teams in there. But they're majorly big teams, or the teams that normally make it and are a 14 seed. They're not doing too well this year. So, this team, if you can tell me who it is, I would hope. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Logan.
Logan,
Okay.
just tell me the mascot and tell me where they're from.
I don't really know, to be honest.
No.
So I put Colonels out of New Jersey.
Asa?
Well, the only thing,
I've only known him as American.
if it's American, I'm gonna just think a Patriot, and I'm gonna just assume since it's American University, it's in Washington D.C.
Asa got 3 points. You are correct. They're in D.C. They're the American Eagles.
Oh, that's a great name.
That's the most patriotic college in the U.S.
All right.
There you go.
The American Eagles out of Washington.
The American
DC.
The
University.
comeback's coming on a little bit here.
If it wasn't in D.C., I would just be so ticked.
I didn't think it was DC because there's already like 5 of them as there is.
Yeah, like Georgetown and
Howard,
yeah.
Howard Bison.
Yeah.
Like Georgetown Hoyas. Screw Georgetown anyway. AI was a baller.
Gentlemen, who's that?
I got 2 things going through my mind. Okay, we're gonna pray.
This team's 13-3 in their conference, and they are 21-8 overall.
AJ, who do you think that is?
I have no idea.
Columbus.
Chicago? Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Shout
I gotta
out the Wolves.
Shout out
think-
T.O.
I gotta think of a mascot real quick. I don't think it's. I have 2 ideas of who this could
This is
be.
one of the weirdest mascot names. I don't think you will get this.
Shout out Terrell Owens.
I have one to stump you. There's no way you get one of these.
Okay, hold on. I gotta think of a mascot real quick. Okay, sorry, 30 seconds is up, but I gotta think.
You know, next time what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for, like, the worst teams and ones with out-of-pocket logos and, just give them to Logan. Or me and Logan can do it. Because most of these teams, they've been in the tournament. So, Asa, who do you think this is?
Okay, I have 2 things. I had 2 teams in my head who this C could be. There's so many C's in Division I basketball. You have
Yes.
Colgate. You have Cal Poly. That was going through my mind. But I thought this was Chattanooga. Okay? In Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I don't know. I have no idea. But the Mountaineers, no idea.
Logan?
You are right. It is Chattanooga.
Okay.
It is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Nickname, it's the Mocs.
Mox. Ah, dude, we just did that too. We just did that.
I can't wait to face Logan in this in a few weeks.
But
I
was
can't
right. It's
wait.
Chattanooga?
You are right.
Okay.
It is Chattanooga.
Okay.
The Mocs.
Mox.
Fun name.
Yep. I knew it was something weird. Okay.
Can't wait for our mock draft season too, you know what I'm saying? Since we're, now on the back half of this as well, gotta, again, cleanse the palate here. That's some good stuff. B&B water. Shout out Terrell Owens as well. Chattanooga mock legend.
There are so many C logos in men's basketball.
Yeah, there is.
Good job.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, who's that?
Okay.
It's not Michigan, I promise. Even though from in the lighting, this looks like a zoomed in picture kind of the Michigan M with a background of a blue. This team is 17-1 in their conference.
They got a
kicking,
tough manager, bro. Their manager's popping off on the socials right
Facts.
They are kicking it.
now. I got to think of
23-6 overall, and this team is a projected 12 seed.
y'all. Got to hear me out on this nickname though.
And they have a head coach that I want to be at Ohio State if Diebler doesn't get his stuff fixed out the end of this year. Logan had it. Well, you got 10 seconds, buddy.
Look at that Rizzler cup. I bet the guy who made it's really strikingly handsome.
Time. I said time. About to disqualify you from this round.
All right, Logan, you start, buddy.
Okay. Well, I originally, because of quick glance, I thought I had it right away, but then I realized that's not their logo. So I had to do a double take. I originally said Morehead State. But it's McNeese. It's the McNeese Cowboys out of McNeese, Oklahoma.
Okay. I said it's McNeese, and I don't know if they're Cowboys. Their logo is a guy riding a horse. So, and it was the same logo that my sister's high school was, so I put down the Rough Riders. It's not right. But they are in McNeese, Kentucky.
So I'll give it to you guys as McNeese State. It's one, if you want to be literal. No. They're from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Louisiana, really?
Yep.
Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay. What's their mascot? Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah, you got that right.
Okay.
So 2-2.
First, that M just threw me for a
Dude,
loop.
I
I'm like,
didn't
that's
know.
Morehead
I thought
State.
I could have swore it was in Kentucky for some reason. They play
That's
some.
Murray State.
That's probably yep. That's probably what I'm thinking because the Racers. Yeah, dude.
Shout out John Morant.
I'm telling you what. I think McNeese is so overrated because they play the stupidest schools.
Well, I want Will Wade to be a Buckeye if Diebler doesn't take this team to the tournament. All right. Who's this? Looks like a community college logo, if you ask me.
Not wrong at all.
Owens
They're 18-12 overall, but they're 12-3 in their conference. So pretty solid year for these guys. But they're probably going to be a 15 seed, I would have to guess.
What the
All right.
hell is this nickname? It's one of these most random.
Yeah, I don't know the nickname either.
Who is that?
I'm thinking here.
They have some famous other teams in this conference.
It's kind of a fraud if you ask me. The city. You might as well be.
Time's up. No.
You might as well just.
What if I'm still
consider
writing it?
yourself-
Too bad.
Yeah,
Okay, you can't be dribbling a basketball after the buzzer after it beats the buzzer.
Okay,
Doesn't mean I didn't get the shot.
I'm
off
going
still.
back to my little rant about this college. You might as well be in Council Bluffs, Iowa, because that is Omaha. In Omaha, Nebraska, mascot doesn't matter. Nebraska sucks. I just said Cardinals.
Logan?
He's right. It is University of Nebraska at Omaha, in Omaha, Nebraska. Nickname, I think it is a random one. I don't think it's something great. So I said astronauts, but I know no D1 schools astronauts. So
You're correct. It's Omaha University, and they are the Mavericks.
Mavericks. I knew there was one that's a Maverick. I always get confused because the ECHL team that's Kansas City, they're the Mavericks. I always get them confused. I knew one's a Maverick.
Do we have 3 left, man? It's
We have
crazy.
3 left. Number 18. Who is that? This team is 12-1 in their conference, and they are 20-7 overall.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I don't like their nickname.
I don't think I know their
Well, I
nickname.
know what that mascot is. That mascot's an easy. That's the only thing I'm gonna get right. But I'm kind of looking at it here, and I'm getting another idea of what that might be. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong.
Time's up. Logan, who is it?
That is the Utah Valley Wolverines. I said out of Ogden, Utah, but I don't think it's the right city.
Yeah, I got Wolverines right off the bat. I just put down Portland, Oregon as the city, but Northern Oregon, I have no idea.
So they are the Utah Valley University Wolverines.
Yep.
And they are from Orem, Utah.
Okay. Well, there you got it, bud. That's all. That's all she wrote.
Spencer, mathematician.
You're winning by a solid amount. I'm
Yeah.
not doing math right
Hey, I'm having a good time and I'm learning.
That's
a lot,
right.
so-
That's right. That's right. It's about fun.
Yep.
Who's that?
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, that one actually I do know.
I'm gonna stump Logan on this last one. There ain't no way in hell he knows it. Got a fire logo though. This one?
I think that's one. That one's my favorite logo so far.
They are 12-5 in their conference, and 21-9 overall.
Shout out Butch Davis.
Shout out Butch Davis.
Oh, okay. Can I
you know
can I change my mascot? Can I change the nickname real
he
quick?
knows it. I'll just put down.
Hold on.
You know the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I'm just like that.
Is that
folks.
that's
Yeah,
Arkansas
yeah.
State?
I know exactly where it is.
Arkansas State.
Yes.
Red Wolves.
Yes. Where are they
And
from?
I just put Little Rock.
It's not Little Rock. It's actually Jonesboro, Arkansas.
Jonesboro. There you go. Yep. There you go. Insane. This dude's knowledge is absolutely impeccable.
You're a little
Let's
excited.
see what we got here for this last one. If either of you get this right, I will take you out to dinner. And I'm
At any point? Oh, any point. Are you saying?
yeah,
like,
not today. Any point.
No, I mean like.
Like any 1 point. Like
If we
one,
get
Oh,
one
no,
point.
no. You have to get all 4.
Oh, I'm like, okay, all right, fine.
Al, if you get the college right,
Okay.
then yes.
Okay.
The mascot might be a little easy if you know what you're talking about. Gentlemen,
Got me excited. Now I'm gonna overthink it.
who is this?
He's writing already. You gotta give me a minute. Okay. What do they call those guys?
Oh, you know what?
Okay.
Started writing some notes.
Okay. Okay, hold on. You gotta give me like a minute here. You gotta
Sorry.
give me a minute.
I know the mascot. For sure. School name? Don't really know. I originally had one in my head, and then I noticed something about the mascot that completely changed the
They are
trajectory.
12-4 and 20-7 overall. They're in 3rd place in their conference.
What school is that? I have no idea. That's a great logo though.
You know,
That is a fire logo.
I will give you what teams are in their conference. Maybe this will help you out. I'll give you a hint. A team like UC Davis, a team like Cal Poly,
Okay, so it's a California school because that whole conference is just California.
Hawaii, maybe.
I think I got it. I'm not gonna lie to you,
Hold on.
because I know it ain't UC Riverside. I think I'm right. I don't know if I am, but I hope I
You
am.
get this right.
All right, go ahead.
I will.
Logan.
All right. No, I need you to go first. Do you have any of them? Have any idea?
Okay, I just assumed. I don't even know if this is a place. In my mind, it sounds like a place. University of California, Santa Clara.
It's a rights there. That is a school. Yeah.
I have no idea the mascot. That looks like what do you call those bull people? The Libros.
Well, the Libres. Trust me, I got your answer for you.
Okay.
What that nickname is. The
and I've
nickname
just
is.
assumed Santa Clara.
They are the Matadors.
Matador. Oh, that's what it's called.
That's right.
They are the Matadors.
What college?
What college? I think this is University of California, Northridge, out of Northridge, California.
You were just so close. Oh. Because it was Cal State Northridge.
It was Cal State Northridge. Ah! Nah, come on, bro. I got that. I got that.
I'll give you some credit, but you didn't. It's that state makes a difference. Where are they from? Do you know?
Northridge, California. That's its
No,
its
they're
own thing, but it's like L.A.
Yep, L.A.
Yeah, Northridge is a neighborhood in L.A.
That's insane, dude. Matador. That's what you call them.
I got to get like 3.75. It's come on now.
You get
I tried. Hey, I showed out here. I showed up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna try. And I actually kind of impressed myself with
You did
knowing
well.
like Quinnipiac.
I'm not
like,
gonna do all the
who
math,
else,
but-
who else knows like what is it? Quinnipiac? Well, I don't even know.
Quinnipiac.
Quinnipiac, like
Good hockey team.
good hockey team.
By the way, NCAA
you know,
hockey team.
you got Southeast Missouri. Like I knew that.
SEMO.
You know what I'm saying? Like Omaha. Like you know, there's some difficult ones.
I'm a
Though,
little
right
impressed.
off the bat, though,
I'm a little impressed.
the one that really ticked me off was the second one because I could have swore it was Mercer, but Mercer is orange. I feel like
Orange and black.
orange and black.
Yep.
I should
It
have known
happens.
that.
Orange is the new black as well.
So, without further ado, before I take it back in a few weeks, Logan, I present to you the Rizzlers Cup for winning the school showdown.
I'm not going to lie. This is maybe the biggest honor of my life.
Congratulations.
Have you graced the trophy?
I
yet?
have not graced the Rizzlers Cup.
I don't think you ever
So
had
this
We've had a
is-
lot of
this is
opportunities to
beautiful.
go. So
You know, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without
Amen.
him, all things wouldn't be possible. I just want to thank everyone here at the University of Toledo for providing us with this opportunity. I just want to thank everyone on this panel, you know what I'm saying? I just want to thank college athletics as a whole, because without you, I'm nothing. I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't be able to get an A in useless information. So thank you. And shout out to Cal State Northridge Matadors.
Who's the USC upstate mascot?
You mean UC Upstate? Or
USC
Oh, yeah,
Upstate.
they're the Spartans.
Yeah, this dude.
Oh, I'm gonna get him in a few weeks.
This dude was it was insane. Hey, can I borrow your card when it's my turn to print them out?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's well, no, I didn't pay anything for it.
I
All you had
know.
to do is go to the printer and you just swipe
There you
your
go.
rocket.
And just swipe
No,
your
I
ID.
just don't like
ID.
printing. That's a lot of things to print.
It only took like.
I think we're
a
just gonna
minute.
run this one back and see if they can get it right.
Who's this?
Insane.
It's all right.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna have
So
to
who's this again?
embrace this.
That's Colorado. That's northern Colorado.
There you go.
All right. We'll have a
Golden
fresh
Bears.
batch in a few weeks for March Madness.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back here from the Ball and Beats podcast, NFL free agency conversation, continuing that today. All that and more coming up here. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Ball and Beats podcast. Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Me?
Absolutely you.
Hit that subscribe button.
Hit that push notifications bell.
How are you guys not subscribed yet?
It's free.
I mean, what are we doing here? Like,
We don't force you to pay to watch this elite content we bring to you on a weekly basis. So subscribe. You should also follow the social media down below and watch on Spotify too. You might as well follow on both. We have 2 different platforms for you to follow us on, so you might as well do so. Double the beats, double the ball, double the trouble.
if you don't do it, your favorite football team is going to go 0-17 next year.
Just like my team will. Back to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back here to episode 129 of the Ball and Beats podcast. As it's now just me and Spencer here on panel, as we're going to dive into more of our NFL free agency conversation. Last week we discussed, excuse the pen drop there, we discussed quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. We could touch a little bit on tight ends, but the thing is, tight ends, there isn't really a lot of fun ones in free agency.
No.
I mean, besides maybe a Mark Andrews cut or a trade in this offseason. We can
Kyle
see that.
Pitts,
Kyle Pitts.
maybe.
You never know.
Yeah.
But we're moving on. We're doing trenches and we're doing defense here today.
Yep.
I'm starting off with the offensive line. And I'm going, instead of last week where we went from 5 to 1 down and everything, specifically for the offensive line, I'm working all the way up because an hour ago, my top free agent for this offensive line group, Trey Smith, the right guard of the Kansas City Chiefs, he got the franchise tag by Kansas City. And the thing is, that's massive for Kansas City to keep
100%.
him in. He's one of the best guards in the NFL.
Yeah, and he's 26, I believe. I mean,
he's
he's still
young,
very young.
and he hasn't really got on that big contract yet.
No.
Franchise tag for a guard's probably not that expensive. You're talking probably $18-19 million comparative
Yeah.
to like the offensive tackle position. But Trey Smith is going to get offensive tackle money for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, he's one of the best guards in the league, and I could easily see Kansas City making him one of the highest paid offensive linemen in the league because he deserves it. And I could also see, like, the Bears really wanted him. Like, the Bears
Yes.
were adamant about going to get this guy, and they're going to have to wait another year. Or do you see a tag and trade idea, which is another thing that
Yes.
maybe Kansas City does? I don't think they do. I think they just keep Trey Smith because he, like we said, he is one of the best guards in the league. Patrick Mahomes scrambled a lot, but it wasn't because of him. But yeah, I mean, you could also see a tag, tag and trade. You can see that with a lot of teams.
Yeah. Personally, with Trey Smith, now that he got the franchise tag today, he's really the first guy we've seen get tagged.
Yeah.
I think he sticks it out with Kansas City. I think he signs a 4-year extension and becomes the highest paid guard in the NFL and most guaranteed money at the guard position. I think Kansas City is going to have to rework a lot of their salary cap to do so, but I think Trey Smith is going to stay in Kansas City long term. He could be a tag and trade if they can't come up with the money situation correctly. Yes, Chicago would be interested.
Cap did just go up.
It
though.
did go up by
by
like-
a significant amount.
like
by
15,
over
20
yeah,
million.
50. Yeah.
Some other teams besides Chicago, Tennessee could be a team interested. Arizona, they need an offensive line piece besides just Paris Johnson out there in Arizona. And Houston, they really need to get more offensive linemen for C.J. Stroud and
Yes.
company. So I could see that happening. But I think Trey Smith 100% is going to stick in Kansas City, and he's going to be the highest paid guard when it's all said and done, and they're going to come to an agreement there. At number 2, I have Ronnie Stanley, the left tackle out of Baltimore. He's been a little injury prone over his career, but when he's been playing, he's arguably a top
Very
3
good.
left tackle in the league. He's going to get, I think, a shorter term deal from somebody, but they're going to pay him a lot of money. He's going somewhere between $22 to $24 million a
Yes.
year. He could easily return to Baltimore. He could also be a tag guy. He could get the franchise tag from Baltimore. But do they want to pay him roughly $25 million in the franchise tag? I don't know.
Not for as
don't
old
know.
as he is. I don't think so.
And, of course, Chicago, another team you're going to see across these offensive linemen here. The Washington Commanders as well. They need another offensive lineman and another one. They got to keep Drake May upright in New England.
Yes.
And with my prediction, I believe that Ronnie Stanley, he's going to sign a 3-year, $72 million deal. And he's going to go to New England and protect Drake May. I think New England's going to overpay compared to some other teams for a guy like Ronnie Stanley, and he's going to really help out that New England offense on the offensive line. And a dark horse team that I do have for Ronnie Stanley is the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, they're losing a lot of guys on that offensive line. They're all getting older. Yes, Ronnie Stanley, he's now getting up in age, but they need someone else to take over. You have Zach Martin, the guard, who just retired as well, and you've lost other guys in the past recently. So I think Dallas could be a dark horse for Ronnie Stanley. My number 3 offensive lineman in free agency, a guy who really stepped up this season and finally really came into his own, moving positions from tackle to right guard, and that's Mekhi Becton with Philadelphia. Mekhi Becton,
What a turnaround. I mean, he was a bust
Bust.
in New York, and it was not close. Like, he gained weight. He was not good at all in pass protection. He was tall and he was big, but he couldn't protect at all for the Jets. And it just proves the Jets ruin everybody. Because if you go anywhere else, you will thrive. And that's exactly what Becton did with Philly.
With Mekhi Becton, the thing is with his contract, is he just a one-off? Was it a one-off year with Philly? Could he easily return to Philly? Yes, he could.
You could say the same thing about Zach Bond.
That's true. You could say the same thing about Zach Bond. With Mekhi Becton, what's he going to get paid, though? Is someone going to overpay? Are they going to overreach? Or is someone going to pay, small amounts of money? Could he take a pay cut to stay in Philly? I could see that happening, too. So I put his contract range somewhere between really $8 to almost $15 million a year. I don't think he's going to
Depends on the year.
I don't think he's getting...
Depends on term and depends on
Right.
how long it is. If he gets a multi-year deal, I could see him getting less money, like a 3-year, 29, $30 million deal. But it is one of those instances to where, is he going to be like this, or is it just a one-year wonder? Because, but I will say he had a damn good year with Philly. He had turned around his career, and he was one of the best tackle guard duo. He did everything. He was one of the best in the league.
Yeah, so Mekhi Becton, teams interested. Philly would love to have him back, I think, and he really fit in with that offensive line room. The Houston Texans, they need interior offensive line in particular, and what they saw with Mekhi Becton this year in Philly, I think Houston would love to have him. Dallas, Seattle, and the Chargers are some other teams, I think,
Bears.
that could make a lot of sense. Chicago as well. Chicago pretty much across the entire offensive line room.
Yeah.
What I think happens, I do think a team's going to overpay for Mekhi Becton. I think he's going to sign a 3-year, $45 million deal to go to the Houston Texans. I think Houston is going to spend some money on an offensive lineman, and Mekhi Becton, he's going to get a payday, big time.
Him and Laramie Tunsil. That'll be pretty nice for Stroud.
Dark horse team for Mekhi Becton, though, and a team that really needs some offensive linemen, Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals cannot keep Joe Burrow upright to save his life.
Shout out Alex Kappa.
And we'll get into Alex Kappa in a little bit here. But Mekhi Becton, you're going to be a Houston Texan, sir. I think you already know that yourself, but that's just my opinion. At number 4, this is really the drop-off zone with the offensive line.
Top heavy.
It's very top-heavy. For number 4, I have the best center available in free agency in Drew Dahlman out of Atlanta. He really has come into his own in Atlanta, and you're kind of like, who is that? Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. There's a lot of teams that need a center, though. He's going to get probably – it's kind of hard to really gauge a center and what they're going to get per year because they make the least amount, but he's probably going to get somewhere in the ballpark of $9 to $12 million a year.
That's solid.
And he's going to become the highest paid center in the league this offseason. You look at teams, Atlanta would love to keep him, though. Atlanta would love to keep Drew Dahlman. San Francisco, Green Bay, Chicago, the Chargers, they need a center. All of these teams listed need a center. But my prediction is that he's going to sign a 4-year, $48 million deal with a cap-heavy team like the Chicago Bears, and they're going to get their center of the future in Drew Dahlman. My dark horse, though, is the Cleveland Browns. What do they do with Ethan Pochich? Is he a cut? I think he is going to get cut. He's in my cut list of
hasn't
here,
been
in my
great,
cut
has he?
candidates. Nope. So Cleveland could be a dark horse for Drew Dahlman. And my number 5 is Alaric Jackson, the tackle for the Rams. Young guy who has had a lot of issues in his early career, but he had a career season protecting Matthew Stafford out at SoFi Stadium this year. He could get a decent payday. He's not going to get in the 20 range, and if he gets in the 20 range, I'd be shocked. But he could get in the mid-teens to low, like higher end teams between $14 to $17 million a year. I expect the Rams to want to keep him. I expect Cleveland to be interested because they needed the left tackle. Kansas City, if they need to replace anybody on that offensive line. New England, Tennessee, the New York Giants as well. They need some offensive line help. But I like Alaric Jackson. I think he's going to return to the Rams on a 4-year, $60 million deal. Another dark horse team, I have Dallas again for another offensive lineman because Dallas, they really need youth on that on that offensive line, and they need young guys. They got a lot of old dudes on that offensive line. My cut candidates though for offensive linemen, it's kind of hard. This isn't the exciting guys we're talking about here. You know what I mean? So you're like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
But I've got Mitch Morse, the center of Jacksonville. If people want to go out and get Drew Dahlman, cut Mitch Morse. Ethan Pochich from Cleveland, George Fant, the right tackle out of Seattle.
Yep.
Maybe one of the better centers, or once was one of the better centers in the NFL, and Garrett Bradbury with Minnesota. I think he could get cut, as well as, of course, Cincinnati would love hearing it, Alex Kappa, the right guard. Man, they overpaid that man.
Contract
big
has
time.
not looked pretty.
That contract is egregiously bad. What's he making, like $16, $17 million a year?
Way more than he should.
To be a wet paper bag that can't block anybody. So, Alex Kappa, you getting cut, boy. We're going to move now to what really is fun to dive into. We're going to the defensive line. And we're going to start before. I'm going to go back to the original way of trade candidates and cut candidates here because there's a lot. There's a lot for this defensive line. I have 12 cut candidates for the defensive line. Joey Bosa and Von Miller and Jonathan Allen are the top 3 right off the bat. Joey Bosa would be a big loss for the Chargers because they could also lose Khalil Mack, who I will tell you, could be 2 positions here for us on this list.
Yeah, we both
we both have Khalil Mack on our list here. But Joey Bosa, the thing is, he hasn't necessarily been worth the money with all of his injuries. And, they need...
Chargers need a youth movement on that defense.
Yes, they do. Big time. You look at Von Miller in Buffalo, just old, but he's worth the money still, really, when he's playing.
He's still been solid.
But, I mean, it's just a lot of money to pay someone who is like 34, 35 years old.
Yeah, he's way past.
And Jonathan Allen, he's 29, 30 years old now in Washington, and it seems like he's been wanting a different direction from Washington for the last couple seasons, and he's getting close to the end of his deal, so I think Washington could save a lot more cap by cutting Jonathan Allen. He could also be a trade candidate, though.
He's still pretty solid.
Watch out for San Francisco. That's
They're
a team
always
that feels
in,
like
they're
San
always in
Francisco.
deals, yeah.
That feels like San Francisco. Other cut candidates I have, I won't go into too much details with them, but I have Larry Ogunjobi from Pittsburgh, Draymond Jones, defensive tackle with Seattle.
Bad contract.
Very bad contract. He has not played good at all. $15 million a year to not do anything.
He's got like 5 sacks a year. Like, he's not good.
To me, one dude who's been the most underappreciated and the most overlooked in his career at this position, the defensive tackle room, is Grady Jarrett out of Atlanta.
Yep.
I think Grady Jarrett statistically has been pretty close to Aaron Donald over the last 8 years of football, and no one talks about him. But I think he could be a cap casualty in Atlanta. Sam Hubbard from Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati fans would love to see
He's solid, but yeah, he's not great.
Some other guys, there's some guys on here that could be trade candidates as well, like Leonard Floyd from San Francisco, but I think he could get cut. Zadarius Smith with Detroit. I know that you might not fully like it, but it would make sense. He's too old.
It's the fact that we haven't seen him with Aiden Hutchinson yet, but he was, as a defensive end, like as the number 1 guy last year, he wasn't great. Like, he made some plays, but he's never going to be a 1. He's a backup. He's 2, like he was with Myles Garrett. With his contract, I could maybe see it for them going somewhere cheaper. Maybe going and get Chase Young, a 1-year deal, getting cheaper and getting younger. But it's the fact that they just need to see how he is if Hutchinson, and if Brad Holmes says, well, I don't think he's going to go well with Hutchinson. I think Zadarius Smith is kind of declining. I mean, he is older. I think he's 33. Then, yeah, you cut him. Or you trade him for maybe a late draft pick.
Another guy from Detroit I have on the list, DJ Reader, defensive tackle.
I don't see it because Reader was really good last year.
He was really good. Money-wise, though.
He only has 1 year left on his deal because he signed a 2-year deal. I mean, it's going to be the fact of when it comes to the draft, if the Lions take an interior defensive guy, yeah, he's gone. I think that they're going to make all their cuts, and maybe they do it before the draft, but I have to see what Brad Holmes does because I actually really like DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil together. They were very good, but and Reader was healthy for most of the year. And while he's older, he still made some solid production. And the Lions, you couldn't really run on them.
2 more guys I have. John Franklin Myers, the D end out of Denver. He's a trade candidate as well. He's a young guy with a lot of upside.
Yep.
And, of course, the old man out in Carolina, Jadeveon Clowney. He could be a cap casualty as well.
He's done.
So I left my trade candidates to just 2. To just 2 because it's 2 big names. We'll start off with the obvious and the sad one, and Myles Garrett with Cleveland. He recently said today, news came out that said that he is not open to doing any kind of negotiations with Cleveland on a long-term deal because he doesn't want to be there, which is sad. Everybody and their brother would want Myles Garrett on their team.
Yep.
But he wants to go somewhere to win, so I put down a few teams I think would be interested in. He would be interested back. Philadelphia Eagles right away. Everyone keeps talking about Philadelphia right now. If Philadelphia doesn't keep Josh Sweat or Milton Williams on that defensive line, which you'll have to see with my predictions coming up, but Philadelphia would make a lot of sense. Washington, I love the fit. They need an edge rusher badly. And they still have Daron Payne up in the middle, and having Daron Payne and Myles Garrett on that defensive line would be nasty. The Green Bay Packers. They need a defensive edge rusher opposite of Rashawn Gary. Yeah, Luke Van Ness is good, but he's not Myles Garrett. No. Tampa Bay could make a lot of sense. They need an edge rusher.
Tampa Bay's is older, and they need to get Vita Vea some help and Kalijah Kancey because both of them great interior guys. The problem is their edge rushing situation is not the greatest.
I have Buffalo as well, replacing Von Miller.
Yeah.
I think that could make a lot of sense, and you would be happy with this. The Detroit Lions as well.
I would love that.
They need an edge rusher, and Myles Garrett is the best there is at that. And now the other edge rusher, and Max Crosby in the Las Vegas Raiders. There's rumors that he could stay with the new ownership. New ownership with new coaching staff and everything, but I think he deserves to be in a better spot as well.
Oh, 100%.
Similar teams I have on this list for Max Crosby. It starts with Detroit. I think Detroit would love Max Crosby.
Oh my God, I would love it.
Buffalo as well, Philadelphia as well. All of those make sense. Chicago, pair him with Montez Sweat.
Yeah,
I think that could be a sneaky.
He
good
can
team.
go. He can go anywhere, honestly, and he'd be the guy. That's how good Max Crosby is. My whole thing is like he's come out so many times and said, I want to be a Raider. And I think that he just has it ingrained in him that Vegas is his home. And even if it's, a 74-year-old or however old Pete Carroll is, and a new GM and all this stuff, new coach, new GM for the 1,000th time in Las Vegas, I just think he's arguably one of the most loyal guys in the NFL. And he's still young. I think he's 27.
Thought the same of Myles Garrett, though.
And that's what my point is you can only take so much of it. There's no way you can just, be fine with going 4-13 or 5-12 every single year. Because unlike Garrett, Crosby, I think he's only been to the playoffs one time, and it was in 2021 when they went to Cincinnati. But other than that, Garrett's made it a few times. And I just think Max Crosby, him going out and saying over and over again, I want to stay in Las Vegas. Now, listen, I would love it. I'd give up 2 first-round picks for either one of those guys. I don't care. I think if I had to choose, I think he'd stay in Vegas. But Garrett's gone, 1,000%.
I also have Arizona for Max Crosby. They need an edge rusher big time. I think that maybe staying out west might be a good thing for him.
Close to Vegas.
So I'm including both defensive tackles and defensive ends here because, short on time a little bit. So number 5, I have Osa Odigizua, the defensive tackle of the Dallas Cowboys. He's really stepped up this season, and he's going to get a massive payday from somebody. He is not returning to Dallas, although they'd love to keep him. He's going to get somewhere. He's going to get $18 to $22 million a year.
I believe it. Yeah.
I think Dallas would love to keep him. Cincinnati would be interested. San Francisco needs a defensive tackle. Washington with the pair with Deron Payne. The Chargers need interior defensive linemen, as well as the Carolina Panthers with Derek Brown. I think that would make a lot of sense to make a really menacing defensive tackle room. But I have Odigizua getting a 3-year, $60 million deal to go down in Cincinnati. They have to pay a lot of other guys, but they need defensive help. And I think that's one piece they could really get is Osa Odigizua. I also think the Houston Texans could get somebody as well down on that defensive line with Daniil Hunter to
And
really
Will
help out.
Anderson.
To really help out with Houston. But I think Cincinnati is the one for Osa Odigizua. Number 4, going to Dallas, old-timer, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Oof.
Been around the block.
He's been around for
but
a
he's
while.
still really good. He's not going to get a payday or nothing. He's going to get probably $10 to $15 million a year. I think Dallas moves off of him. Although they'd love to keep him, he seems like a Cowboy for life kind of guy.
Yeah.
But I just don't think at this point in his career.
You're only playing for Jerry so long.
Exactly. You can only play for a guy so long, specifically Jerry Jones.
Yes.
But I think DeMarcus Lawrence wants to win. And he's going to go to a team like a Green Bay Packers, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kansas City Chiefs. Teams like that seem to make a lot of sense. I've got him signing a 1-year, $14 million deal to go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
Opposite of George Karlaftis.
That'd be nice.
And Kansas City
Chris Jones.
with Chris Jones, a menacing defensive line.
That'd be really nice for Kansas City.
A dark horse team to be opposite of Jared Verse in the Los Angeles Rams. I think that the Rams would really like to make their defensive line unit a lot better. So, number 3, Josh Sweat, defensive end, Philadelphia. Josh Sweat, and that whole Philadelphia unit as a whole, just disgusting
It's
across
nuts.
the board.
It's absolutely nuts.
And Josh Sweat was one of the leaders this year for this team. He's going to get a payday from somebody. He's not staying in Philadelphia, although they'd love to keep him. Almost everybody on this list, those teams would love to keep.
Yes.
But Josh Sweat, he's not going to be staying in Philadelphia. He's going to get $20 million a year, roughly. I've got him, teams interested. Arizona needs an edge rusher big time. I think they're willing to spend a lot of money on an edge rusher this offseason. Seattle, pretty much the NFC West as a whole, I think would love Josh Sweat on their team. Tampa Bay needs an edge rusher as well. And the Tennessee Titans, they need everything under the sun.
Yeah.
So
Say that again.
those are just a few teams. I've got him going on a 5-year, $105 million deal. Long-term contract with the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
Arizona, they desperately need pieces on that defensive line. They don't really have a lot. A dark horse team is Washington. I think Washington could get an edge rusher, and he could stay in the NFC East and play Philadelphia twice a year. But Arizona's the move for Josh Sweat. Number 2, a guy who plays too many positions, so we have him twice on our list.
Yep.
And Khalil Mack out of the Los Angeles Chargers. Listen, Khalil Mack is still that guy,
He may be, 34, but he's still damn good.
He's going to get a payday still, but he's not going to get the length. It'll be a short-term deal.
Yeah.
1 or 2 year deal with somebody. And teams I think that would call for him, Chargers could see him back, but do they want to move on from both Bosa and Mack?
That's the question because, Khalil Mack, to me, is the better one, and he's stayed healthy a lot more. Bosa just gets way too injury prone, and while both of them have been very good when they're healthy, they can't stay on the field. Khalil Mack has been on the field a lot more than Bosa. If the Chargers would keep one, they would 100% keep Mack. I know Bosa's a little younger, but Bosa just has an issue with staying on the field. And they're both linebacking defensive ends. They kind of both do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I would only think you only need one. So
My prediction, though, I think he's going to sign a 2-year, $42 million deal. He's going to move off of the Chargers, and he's going to go to the AFC North, and he's going to be a Baltimore Raven.
ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be nice.
Khalil Mack is going to join a menacing defense,
That'd be nice.
and he has not been in the AFC North quite yet in his career. I like that. A dark horse fit, Indy. If they keep DeForest
Indianapolis,
Buckner
yeah.
and have him still at the defensive tackle room, and you put Khalil Mack at edge with some other menacing guys on the Indianapolis defense, and really try and hone in on that defense, I think could fit. But I love seeing Khalil Mack in a Baltimore Ravens uniform. Although I hate saying it. I hate saying it, but
that'd be a nice
Khalil Mack
jersey.
in Baltimore, I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yes.
And number one I have here is the edge in Philly system, but he's really a defensive tackle, Milton Williams. Milton Williams, I think he's the best defensive lineman available this free agency. I mean, his career trajectory is through the roof right now. His upside is one of the best interior defensive linemen in the league. He has been the last 2 seasons for Philly, and Philly would love to keep him, but they just cannot. They will not be able to. There's no
way
shot.
Way too many dudes to pay.
Way too many dudes to pay. Other teams I think that would be interested: Pittsburgh, Carolina, New England, Green Bay, all guys that need interior defensive linemen.
Yep.
My prediction, he signs a 4-year, $88 million deal to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh is going to try and get an interior defensive lineman, and I think they're going to try and cash in on the best one this free agency. A dark horse team for Milton Williams, though, Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota. I think that's one team that could lurk in the shadows in this defensive lineman market. But Pittsburgh, they're desperate to get really a Cameron Hayward replacement moving forward, and they don't really have anyone else in that interior defensive line that really screams future. Milton Williams is your future in Pittsburgh.
No, I completely agree, and I also just realized with your Khalil Mack thing, could you imagine the 52 back in Baltimore as a linebacker? Ooh, man, that would be nice.
If that's the thing, though, will he be 53 or something else like that?
Yeah, I don't think he would disrespect Ray Lewis.
I don't think he would. He may be a single digit, pull a 0 or something.
0? That'd be nice. Yeah. I mean, he can go anywhere. So, and I have him on my list now. So let's get to my list. I dealt with the secondary, and there is a ton, and I mean an absolute ton of talent on the secondary, especially the safety class. The safety class is very talented. But we're going to start out with the linebackers. At number 5, I have a guy that not many people might know about. His name's Robert Spillane.
Robert Spillane, yeah.
The guy out of Las Vegas. He's a very, very good safety. He's 29 years old, out of Western Michigan. He's been the linchpin in the Raiders defense for the past few years, and he wants to win. I expect him to get $10-12 million a year. Teams, that I could see him going to. I could see the Colts, the Raiders. To go back to the Raiders, Tennessee, Green Bay, then the Chargers. I think he's going to sign a 2-year, $23 million deal to go to the Chargers and be the safety linchpin. I think he's going to stay in the AFC West, and I think that he's going to help bolster that safety room in the Chargers. My number 4 linebacker, Dre Greenlaw.
Ooh.
I expect him to get about $6 to $8 million per year. I think he's going to get a 1-year deal. He's still not. I think he's 29. He's still not old yet. But teams, kind of the teams I talked about. I could see Indy. I could see Vegas. I could see Tennessee. I could even see Kansas City. I could see Green Bay. But I think he's going to sign a 1-year, $8 million deal. I think he's going to the Lions. I think that if you can get Dre Greenlaw on a cheap deal. You can have him, Jack Campbell, and Alex Anzalone back there, because I think Derek Barnes is going to leave. I think Derek Barnes is going to go to the Jets and follow Aaron Glenn, because he's another guy that's, he's going to be a free agent.
I really like Indy. I like Indy a lot.
Indy's another one, yeah. My number 3 guy, probably my favorite linebacker on this list, Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton.
Not number 1 or number 2?
Not number 1, because there's 2 guys that I still think, are better, at least right now. I expect him to get $12 to $14 million per year. Teams that I could see, Tennessee, Green Bay, Las Vegas, going back to Kansas City. I could see Indianapolis, Washington. What I think he's going to do, I think he's going to sign a 4-year, $50 million deal. I think he's going to return to Kansas City. I think it makes the most sense to just stay with the Chiefs, stay winning, stay under Steve Spagnuolo's system, and continue to thrive in the system that has built you into the linebacker you are, because Nick Bolton is very good, and he's going to get a solid payday. My next guy, the one me and Logan had in common, Khalil Mack. I expect him to get $22 million per year. He's going to get paid. And like Logan said, it's going to be a shorter deal. And we actually have the same term and same contract.
Oh, wow.
2-year, $42 million.
Look at us.
Washington, Vegas, Tennessee, Green Bay, Detroit, New England, and the Chargers. I think he's going to sign a 2-year, $42 million deal with the Washington Commanders.
Ooh.
I think he's going to go to Washington, and I think he's going to help, with that linebacking core. I think if they re-sign Bobby Wagner, I know it's a little bit older. They're both 34, but that could be a really good experienced duo of Wagner and Mack in the backfield for Washington. That's really, yeah. Mack's going to get paid no matter what, no matter where he goes.
Yes.
My number one linebacker is Zach Bond.
Okay.
When you're an all-pro after 1 year in Philly, I mean, if you're an all-pro, you're on this list. You're a number one. But I don't think I think he's going to get less than people think. I think he's going to get $12 to $14 million per year. And I think he's going to get a shorter-term deal. Because the problem that we had is it's a 1-year insane run with Philly. I mean, he had an unbelievable year with the Eagles. And is this a 1-year wonder, or is it going to continue? Much like the other guy that we talked about. Teams interested: Washington, Vegas, Tennessee, Green Bay, Detroit, New England, Philly. My prediction: I think he signs a 2-year, $28 million deal. I think he returns to the Eagles. I think that makes the most sense to return to Philly, stay under Vic Fangio's system, and just continue to thrive. And after 2 years, if you're still playing at the elite level, he'll be, I think, 30 at the time, which still isn't completely old. You can get paid, because then you have it made when you're having 3 straight years of elite level linebacking play.
He's the one guy who's a free agent on this defense that I think stays in Philly for that reason. I think
100%.
Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, they're 2 heavyweights with the money situation. Zach Bond makes a lot more sense financially, 1, but 2, he was arguably your best defensive player this season.
Oh, easily. And he signed a 1-year deal, and he was a nothing special teamer player with New Orleans the year prior. So going to Philadelphia, much like Mekhi Becton, really helps you out. Now we're going to get to the corners. Corner class is also really, really good. My number 5 corner is Rasul Douglas. I expect Rasul Douglas to get $10 to $12 million per year. He's still very good, coming off a solid season in Buffalo. He's about 30, 31, so not too old yet. Teams interested? There's a lot. A lot of teams need help on the corner. Detroit, Green Bay, Las Vegas, New England, Minnesota, Kansas City, Buffalo, and Jacksonville. My prediction: I think he signs a 2-year, $23 million deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know why. He just seems like a Raider to me. He seems like he would fit that Raider mentality, and he's gone from Buffalo. I don't think he returns to Buffalo, but to me it makes the most sense for him to go to the Raiders. And I don't know if it's just a hunch. He just seems like it to me.
Sometimes
Some guys
there's
you
guys-
just see like Raiders. And
I feel like it's sometimes just the name itself just looks like, looks like a silver and black
like
player.
Spillane. Spillane is a tough-nosed, hard-nosed player going to play for Jim Harbaugh. It makes sense. So, yeah, I think that would make sense for Rasul Douglas to go there. My next guy is DJ Reed.
Yes.
Sauce Gardner's next-door neighbor, the second cornerback for the New York Jets. I expect him to get a solid amount of money, $13 to $15 million per year. He's been very, very good with the Jets. He just loses because he's, with the Jets. Teams interested, same ones I talked about: Lions, Packers, Raiders, Patriots, Vikings, Chiefs, Bills, and Jags. I predict him to sign a 1-year, $14 million deal to go play at Lambeau Field. I think that the Packers need a cornerback desperately. And I know Aaron and all these Packers fans will tell you their cornerback room sucks. They need a cornerback. And I think that DJ Reed, he was kind of under Sauce Gardner for a while. I think he can be that guy, and he plays very, very good man coverage. And I think if you pair him up there, and Jair Alexander, who knows what's going to happen
traded.
with him?
He's getting traded.
And I might get to that later. He's DJ Reed. The Packers just need a corner. They need to sign a corner. Now, it'd be funny for them to do nothing again, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I like
this
the
year.
NFC North for DJ Reed for sure.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense. I think Minnesota, Green Bay or Minnesota, to me feels like the two teams to look out for.
My next guy, number 3, Travarius Ward, the corner from San Francisco. You told me a year ago I thought he would resign with San Francisco, but things have come up with him to where he wants to leave the city. I expect him to get $13 to $15 million per year, kind of like DJ Reed. Teams interested, same ones I've been talking about. It's kind of the same thing here. Lions, Packers, Raiders, Patriots, Bills, Chiefs. My prediction, though, I think he signs a 2-year, $28 million deal, and staying in the NFC North, I think he's going to go to the Vikings. I think Travarius Ward, I think he's going to be, he's 27 right now, and he's still very good. He just was hurt. And I think that if he goes to Minnesota under that Brian Flores defense, he's going to thrive. Because most corners end up thriving when they play for Brian Flores.
Yeah.
My third guy, Carlton Davis. Very, very, very good cornerback for the Lions last year. He got hurt, but he plays very, very good man coverage, and that's exactly what Aaron Glenn did, is play man coverage. And that's what I expect Kelvin Shepard to do, as he kind of taught him some things. I expect Davis to make $13 to $15 million per year. Teams interested, we've already talked about the same teams we've been mentioning, all of these same teams that need corners. My prediction, I think he signs a 2-year, $27 million deal, and I think he returns to the Lions. I think it makes the most sense for him to stay in the system, and while he's going to be under a new defensive coordinator, Kelvin Shepard learn from Aaron Glenn, and they are going to be good amount the same system, essentially. And I think it makes the most sense for Davis to just stay there.
No.
No.
I don't think he's going to be a Lion next season.
Where do you think he goes?
I think he goes to the New England Patriots.
Yeah, and he can go 4-13.
Like on my laptop, sounds like
I was
it's
gonna
about
say,
to
it
blow
sounds like
up
a
right
jet
now.
plane. I was about to ask, is everything okay?
My laptop might explode while we're on set right
Okay.
now.
My number one corner, and it's not close. Carlton Davis is good, but Byron Murphy.
Yes.
Murphy had a hell of a year for the Vikings last year, and he is going to get paid. I mean, I believe he's 27, so he's still relatively young. Teams interested, same ones I've been talking about: Lions, Packers, Raiders, Jags, Minnesota, New England, Kansas City. My prediction, I think he signs a 4-year, $86 million deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I like that.
I think it makes sense for him to go to Jacksonville. This team, they have talent on defense and on offense. Liam Cohen, I mean, he is cringy, but I think he's going to bring a great offensive philosophy. And on defense, they have the talent. They just need the coaching. And I think Byron Murphy has been coached well enough by Brian Flores to where he will thrive anywhere he goes. He can be that guy like he was in Minnesota. And I think Jacksonville's ready to start winning, and I think they're going to add some pieces this year, and I think it makes sense for them to go get their CB1.
That's exactly who I thought for Jacksonville, Byron Murphy, for sure. They need a corner one. Maybe they get a guy in like Travis Hunter that they think can be something for a wide receiver and corner, too.
have the
So
pick.
you never know.
They have what, pick 5, 6?
5. They have the 5th pick.
Yeah. Oh, no. Finally, the safety class. The safety class is very, very talented. All 5 of these guys are very talented guys, and guys that I could see getting big paydays. Starting out at number 5, I have Cameron Bynum from the Vikings. I expect him $12-15 million per year. He's still relatively young. He's 26. Teams interested: Atlanta. Him to return to Minnesota makes sense. The Jets, the Bills, the Chiefs. There's a lot of different teams that need safeties. I predict him, however, to sign a 3-year, $39 million deal with the Atlanta Falcons. Going to play for Raheem Morris, that safety group. I think that, they already have Jesse Bates. And who's the other safety last year that they signed the 1-year deal?
Forgot.
Yeah.
I was too busy grabbing my Rizzler's cup.
He played for the Broncos.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but I forgot the name.
I don't know the name. That's who we're talking about. That's bad. Yeah, I think Cam Bynum makes a sense for him to go to Atlanta, go opposite of Jesse Bates, and just really strengthen that safety duo there in Atlanta. Number 4, Talanoa Hufanga, the safety from San Francisco.
Say that 5 times fast.
Talanoa Hufanga. It's a fun name to say. I expect him $12-14 million. Teams interested: Atlanta, Vegas, Chiefs, Bills, Jets, and the Vikings. I predict him to sign a 2-year, $27 million deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. What was that for?
I don't know about Kansas City.
You don't know about that? Why
I
not?
don't know about Kansas City.
Why not?
I just don't think so.
Maybe you just got to wait till the end to find out why they're signing a safety.
Oh.
Maybe they have a guy named Justin Reed who doesn't want to be there.
Ooh.
All right.
You're right.
At number 3, Trevon Moehrig. Very, very, very underrated safety for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's 25 years old, still very young. And he's going to get a solid amount of money. He was very good with the Raiders. Him and Robert Spillane were really the linchpins of that Raiders defense. Now, I know it's the Raiders and they didn't win much, but they played very, very well on defense at times. I expect him, Atlanta, Minnesota, Jets, Bills, Chiefs, Raiders. Signing back with the Raiders obviously would make sense. I already won that one time, man, and I'm going to take it back in a few weeks. My prediction, though, he signs a 2-year, $32 million deal with the Minnesota Vikings. I think it would make a lot of sense since they are losing Cam Bynum to just sign another young guy. Sign a young guy who's 25, he's been in the league for 4 years. He was under the Raiders, who I know they're the Raiders, but he's a good safety. And I think Trevon Moehrig, he's an established player, and it'd make a good amount of sense for him to go to Minnesota where he can thrive under Brian Flores again. Okay, that's creepy. At number 2, Javon Holland. The Miami Dolphins kind of screwed the pooch on this one.
Big time.
He's not going to be going back, and I think they're going to miss him a lot because he's one of the best safeties arguably in the league, and he's one of the most slept-on safeties in the league. I expect him to make $14 to $17 million per year around that. Teams interested, kind of around the same. I expect Atlanta, Minnesota, Jets, Bills, and the Chiefs. I predict him to sign a 4-year, $58 million deal with the New York Jets. I think he's going to go play for Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn knows what to do with safeties. Obviously, with Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, established two of the best young safeties in the league in Detroit. Now he's going to go to New York, and I think that it would benefit them greatly to sign Javon Holland.
He could be a tag and trade kind of guy too. I don't see him in I don't see him in Miami, but I think he could be possibly one of those tagged guys.
Yeah. And my number 1 safety, kind of hinted to it earlier, Justin Reed from Kansas City. I expect him to make $15 to $18 million per year. Expect same teams: Buffalo, Jets, Chiefs, Raiders, Minnesota, Atlanta. A lot of different teams that need safety help. Hey, yeah, I know he got his first win. Congrats, buddy. I'll take it back in a few weeks. I expect him to sign a 3-year, $53 million deal with the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Justin Reed would thrive in Buffalo, and I think that they need a replacement because Jordan Poyer's not there anymore, and they need some safety help. And I think it makes sense for Buffalo since they want to win now. It makes sense for them to go get him.
Micah Hyde also retired.
Yep.
So
they don't have any safeties.
No, they don't.
Besides DeMar Hamlin. And a few cut trade candidates for you. Harold Landry III from Tennessee. I think he's going to get cut. Some team will sign him. He's a very good linebacker.
I think he might be traded.
You think he's going to get traded?
I think he's getting traded. They're fielding trade discussions around Harold Landry. I expect him to get traded for like a bag of chips.
Jair Alexander is another one that is probably going to end up getting traded from Green Bay. That's why I had them signing DJ Reed because I don't think that I think he's done in Green Bay. Although I think he's one of the best cornerbacks in the league, he just can't stay on the field.
No.
He's never on the field. And another guy on Green Bay, Quay Walker. Quay Walker's a guy. He's 24. I think that the Packers want to move on from him.
I could see it. I mean, the Packers need to kind of rejuvenate that defense in
Yes.
general, specifically the back end.
Yeah.
They do need some interior help as well. I think they got the edge rushers kind of set, but unless like a big name guy comes available, then that's when they'll get an edge rusher. But Green Bay, I think their defense is going to look pretty different next season. So it makes a lot of sense. Jair, how about this? Jair to Jacksonville in a trade instead of a
Jacksonville's going
going
to get a corner. No matter what, whether it's signing or trading, Jacksonville's going to go get a corner this offseason.
I think Jair to Jacksonville might be the move if it's not Byron Murphy in free agency. Jacksonville's going to get a big guy regardless, I think, at corner.
Oh, 100%. But That's my list. That's my 3. Who'd you have Myles Garrett going to, by the way? You never said.
I didn't
What's
say
your
where he's
prediction?
going. I said it's a possibility he could get traded. Who knows? I just said teams that are interested.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is he's going to get traded to the Washington Commanders.
Wow. Oh, that would be.
I think he's going to be a Washington Commander. I think we're going to get 2 first-round picks, probably a third as well. And we'll probably have to trade one of our late round, like a 5th or 6th rounder part of it as well. I think Myles Garrett's going to be a Washington Commander next year, and Cleveland's going to get their first-round pick this year, late first-round pick. They're going to get their first-round pick next year as well, and put Myles Garrett in the NFC North. NFC East, my bad.
I would love him in the NFC North. Only in Detroit.
I'm sorry, I meant Detroit. There's no way he's not a Lion, right?
Oh, I can't wait to get you that 95 Garrett jersey in Honolulu blue. It's going to be so great.
It's all right. At least the Cal State Northridge Matadors.
Matadors.
Wow, this is bad. It's been a long day. I won. Asa
Finally.
didn't.
Took you.
Haha.
You won one. You won one time.
I won't win again, I know. It's all right.
Asa, I want you to come up with some good ones for a few weeks.
We're going D2 only.
I'm talking like Queens.
D2.
I'm talking like Queens, New York University.
Shout out the Rizzler. You know, he's never been on the Ball and Beats podcast, but you should come to the Ball and Beats podcast.
I'm talking like I'm talking like West Georgia University, like type like that. Like we're gonna need some fun ones.
All right. I think that's going to wrap up this episode of the Ball and Beats podcast. A long one, a tiring one, a gruesome one, a fun one. Make sure you like, you comment, subscribe.
Hit that push
Go down to
notification
the
bell. Get
go
those
down-
subscriber numbers up.
Get the subscribers
views.
number up. We're trying to reach 100. We should be at 100 a long time ago, but we're sadly not. Follow the Instagram, follow the TikTok as well. You can also watch this on Spotify. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and more.
All that fun stuff.
All that fun stuff, you know. Signing off here. We'll see you guys next week with a very unique and very special episode. Take care. Peace out.